Hello and welcome to Gunners Daily YouTube channel, where I'm covering all the latest Arsenal news and everything that is happening around the club. We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it because we've got some interesting news ahead of us. But before we start, like always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Okay, let's go. Mikel Arteta has invited players' families on Arsenal's mid-season break to Dubai in an attempt to rejuvenate his squad after losing last 3 straight matches. With 11 days until their next fixture, the Gunners are due to travel out to United Arab Emirates for a winter break. Arsenal's recent disappointing run of results has seen them drop down to 4th in the Premier League table and crash out of the FA Cup after Sunday's defeat against Liverpool. Arteta claimed on Sunday that his side needed love during a difficult stage of the campaign and has now told families they can attend Arsenal's mid-season trip in the Middle East, as per the Daily Mail. The club hopes that players can unwind following a hectic first half of the season, which has seen them already play 29 games in all competitions. I think this mini break will be good for our squad. Maybe to recharge our batteries. It's been complete chaos for the last month or so. 1 win in 7 games, pressure from the fans, pressure from the media, injury after injury. Maybe this will be good for us to move away from London for 10 days or so and prepare in peace for the second part of the season, because there are still a lot of games waiting to be played. We are only at halfway, anything can happen, we are still playing for 2 trophies, so yeah. All in all, I think this has been a good decision from the club, and let's just hope that this will help our players and we are going to be a lot better in the second part of the season than we were so far. Ivan Toney insists he has a lot to repay to Brentford for sticking with him during his ban. The 27-year-old England international will return to Premier League football this month after serving an 8-month suspension for breaching the Football Association's betting rules. Toney, who scored 20 Premier League goals last season, is a transfer target for Arsenal and Chelsea. Yet Brentford are determined to keep hold of Ivan Toney after losing Joana Visa to the Africa Cup of Nations and Brian Mbeumo to a serious ankle injury. In an exclusive interview with Mirror Football, Toney said, "Everyone knows Brentford is a family club. They have been nothing but amazing for me. I can't take them enough, especially the fans. They were behind me from the first minute as well, so it's kind of like I have a lot to repay." With Brentford, they're struggling at the moment, but I'm sure when I'm back, I will play a big part to get the team out of the losing form they've been in. I can't wait to get back and be helping my teammates. Brentford are currently 16th on the table and have lost 5 consecutive games. Honestly, what I took from that whole interview is that Toney is not planning to leave Brentford this January. Simple as that. They are massively struggling at the moment. They don't have any other strikers. Basically, they are only 4 points above the relegation zone, and when you look at it from that perspective, it makes sense that Toney would rather stay with Brentford to repay them in some way for what they did for him after he received his ban. And I think from human side, it would be a good thing to do. After all, you were banned for your own mistakes and the club stood behind you for 8 months and offered you support. And now, when they are massively struggling with injuries and absentees, it would be kind of stupid for him to turn his back on them and leave instantly after he served his ban. I mean, I know they would receive a hefty transfer fee for him, but you know what I mean. I think at the moment, him staying would probably help them a lot more than any possible transfer fee. I think we should definitely shift our focus elsewhere, because judging by this current situation, I don't think Ivan Toney will be leaving the club this January. In summer, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the deal they made together. Why don't you stay here for the rest of the season and help us stay in the league, and then you can join any club you want this summer. And that's probably what will happen in the end. The Mirror claims that Arsenal are looking at possible loan deals if they are to bring any players this month, because they have no room for maneuver when it comes to spending big unless they make a sizable sale. According to the report, Arsenal has spent their allowance on transfers and simply cannot risk breaching financial fair play rules with any big signing this January. As it was reported earlier this season, Arsenal are one of the European clubs being closely watched by UEFA due to a risk of a potential breach of FFP rules. And according to the sources close to the club's finances, any potential new big-name signing will not be possible unless the club generates some funds through player sales. Eddie Nketiah and Emil Smith-Rowe are the names that are mentioned the most around the club, as it's believed that their market value is still pretty high and they could generate some much-needed funds for the club and free up squad space for potential incomings. So basically, according to this report, Arsenal's FFP situation is even worse than we thought. I mean, we knew about most of this already. It's not a secret that Arsenal's financial fair play situation is not perfect at the moment. We haven't made any big sale in a long time. And now, at least according to this report, we have to make a decision who to sell if we want to bring in some new signings. Emil Smith-Rowe is worth around £20 million and Eddie Nketiah is worth around £30 million, according to the transfer market. I think in reality, both of them are worth much more. Every day we see more and more players leaving their clubs for unbelievable fees. Transfer market is a wild place right now, and some clubs are asking for 3 or 5 times more money for their player than what is their estimated value on transfer market. I don't think selling Eddie Nketiah and Emil Smith-Rowe would be a good move, especially with all the injuries that we currently have and the lack of available players in our squad. But if we truly have to sell them to acquire some new signings, I really hope for the first time ever that we are going to take some serious profit from those sales. Quick reminder, our biggest sale ever is still Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to Liverpool for around £40 million, something like that. So that tells you all you need to know. We never knew how to sell our players, and we constantly underestimate our players and their true value on the transfer market. We see clubs all around the league selling players for 40, 50, 60, 70 million pounds on a regular basis. And here we are in 2024, and our biggest sale is still Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. That needs to change. Letting players go, selling players is what we must do to keep going forward, to keep progressing. Sometimes, unfortunately, we don't want to see some of those players leave, but that's part of football, and that's just how it is. But we need, or better said, Edu Gaspar needs to up his game when it comes to selling, because since he came to the club almost 4 years ago now, his biggest sale is Folarin Balogun to Monaco for, according to the transfer market, £25 million. Shocking, absolutely shocking. Here, concentrate for a second and listen to this. Since the 2020-21 season, when Edu Gaspar was announced as our new technical director, he was announced as our new technical director during the 2019-20 season, but the summer of 2020 was his first ever transfer window. Anyway, since he came to that position until today, Arsenal sold a player's worth of total £120 million. So, £120 million in departures since the summer of 2020. So, basically, little less than 4 years. Now let's talk about the rivals. In that same time, since the summer of 2020 till today, we spent £680 million on new players. So, £680 million spent, £120 million sold. By the way, these numbers are from Transfermarkt. Just wanted to let you know. You see what I'm talking about? And that's one of the main reasons why we are now struggling to bring some new players. We need to value our players more. We have some great players in our squad currently. Young, promising players with high ceilings, with great potential. Some of them are already playing for their national teams. So we need to be serious when it comes to selling. Times of selling our players for peanuts are well behind us. At least I hope that's the case. So the point of this whole story is, I understand that selling your players from time to time is normal thing in today's football. And that's the way how you keep improving and keep moving up. But Arsenal, please, value your own players. And if we really have to sell some of them this January, let's at least take a good profit from those sales. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. And finally, here are some interesting events that happened throughout the history of Arsenal on this day. In 2007, Arsenal beat Liverpool 6-3 away in the League Cup. Alex Song scored his first goal with Julio Baptista getting 4. It was the first time in over 75 years that Liverpool conceded 6 goals at home. And in 2022, Arsenal announced the release of all white Ford kit for the FA Cup that would be awarded to individuals who are making a positive difference in the community as part of a No More Red campaign to raise awareness about knife crime and youth violence. And that's it for today's video. So goodness, tell me, what are your thoughts on all this? Which player do you think we should sell this January to generate some funds? Write down in the comments. Once again, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Thank you for joining in, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!